How are things? You're in California, I assume?
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful weather. We're lucky, as always, and just busy working on some music and watching a lot of soccer at the moment. There's a lot of English Premier League happening, so taping a lot of great.
See, my whole family, we're into English Premier, John. We could do a whole show on Leicester City if you want.
Oh, brilliant! Because it's weird that I come from a very small town that was one of the first 11 teams in 18. I've got my T-shirt. I've got my shirt here. 1876, along with Liverpool, Manchester United, Everton, and not Everton, Liverpool, obviously, Arsenal, and Bishop Auckland. The first 11 teams that created the first league in the history of life.
Wait, but the Cincinnati Reds came about in 1876 too, I think, didn't they?
Okay, thank you very much.
He's talking baseball. Is that even?
Accrington Stanley. Accrington Stanley, and Lord Stanley created the game, so the team named.
Well played, Mr. Anderson. Well played. He knows his NHL stuff too. Good job, sir. I'm impressed.
Well, I used to be the mascot, so what do I
know? who is, before we get going on doing the recording, who is your favorite English Premier League team right now?
Well, I've got 4 in a row. I start with United, Man United, then Liverpool, then Newcastle, then Tottenham.
Okay. My daughter, who is 14 years old, is an insatiable Man U fan.
It's been a tough couple of years, believe us. But we're getting there. It's got some young players now that can really, really play.
Yeah, Rashford's something else, and thank God for David De Gea.
Oh, yeah. He's only the best in the world, thank God.
And they keep trying to get rid of him. That's the part that always blows my mind, John.
Last year. But he saved our bacon this year, seriously.
He's the MVP 2 years in a row, sir.
It's true.
So, all right, Ed's going to play some music, and we're gonna do this thing, okay?
Okay, let's go.
Well, I had you on there. I had to go with my favorite Yes song of all time, and it's Awaken, hands down.
Have you seen the show I did in Iceland?
Yeah, with the Toddmobile guys?
Toddmobile.
That's an amazing version of that song, John.
It really blew my mind. I remember going through the experience, and we did obviously a few other Yes songs, but when I heard and saw it about 4 months later, I couldn't breathe. I thought, how good is this? It's like the music transcends, in a way.
Well, it was also good to see folks of that younger generation, who connect in it and help get it to where that performance went, because it's a beautiful performance.
Yeah, we were pretty lucky. I think it was in 2002. We toured with the band with Rick and Steve and Chris and Alan, and we toured with a Polish symphony orchestra, all made up of teenagers like in the 20s or early 20s. And they didn't really know Yes, but man, it was incredible to play rehearsal with them and them to realize that this was pretty interesting music. Like we actually did Gates of Delirium, Revealing and Ritual, and they loved it. And they're very young musicians, and they just loved the idea that a band like Yes exists,
So here's my I have different moments of where my kids listen to different music, and so my son and his friends are playing a video game, Destiny.
Right.
And they have Spotify playing in the background, and they're listening to Mind Drive while they play Destiny.
Oh, I was working on Mind Drive yesterday.
Oh, love that tune.
Part of the project with Rick, the Anderson Raven Wakeman project, ARW, and Rick had done this really very interesting piece of music for it. It's like a bolero and very strong. And I kept hearing, there's something got to come with this. There's something halfway through. We got to go into a song that, yes, people know. And I thought, that's it, Mind Drive. And I put it on for the first time a couple of days ago. I hadn't listened to it for maybe, 10 years or so. And I thought, wow, this is pretty strange, interesting music.
But you answered a question right there. You do listen to your old music, don't you?
Very rarely.
Very rarely?
No, he said 10 years.
I'll listen to it now and again. It's like if I hear, like I wanted to think about doing Mind Drive, and I hadn't listened to it for 10 years. It's a long time. And when I heard it, I thought, wow, I remember doing it with Alan and Chris, because they kept playing the da-da-da, 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 da-da-da for about an hour. And I said, guys, can you change keys? And then they did, and I started singing. And that's how we started recording that as an idea. And I just read an article about these new angled video games that are coming through, where you can actually work with your mind. And it's so funny. It was developed by the guy who created Atari.
Okay.
And when he sold his shares and everything, he started working with some Russian scientists, brain scientists, and they've created a system now that enables the mind to control the computer. So that was like...
And then you're listening to Mind Drive.
And that when I wrote that. But it's about 20 years ago, Mind Drive, I don't know, probably.
Yeah.
Well, your lyrics in that, but the band overall effort on that song.
Amazing.
Steve and Rick at the end are just wicked.
Amazing.
All right, we're gonna.
Days, every time I worked with the band, I tended to know where we were going.
Right.
And thankfully, they were very, very helpful to wait for the next section. I'd be working on the next section while they learned the new section, and I'd be working on the next section and thinking ahead, you know. And I did that way back in Close to the Edge. I had this sort of natural feeling for the next, how it would build and structure together, and they were so wonderful to help me realize these ideas, and that's how we work together.
When you say that last entering the Mind Drive, and then the boys just finish off that last 3-4 minutes.
Oh, wild.
It's good stuff, Jon Anderson. All right, we're going to get some bump music going again. Little Anderson Ponte Wondrous Stories we're going to bump in here. So,
okay.
Here we go.